friends, welcome back once again in the video lecture series of operating system. Its subject code is 1618305. Uh, Today I am going to teach you unit number 3. Its name is Interprocess Communication and Synchronization. In this, I am going to teach you some important topic, subtopics, that is critical region and conditional critical region. While we are talking about IPC, critical region is very important, because without discussing about critical region, the concept of IPC is incomplete. So let us start with the video. This is my name and designation. Okay, so what are the important content that I will going to take in this video? The first, I will teach you about critical section. Then I will teach you about different implementation of the critical sections. Later on, I will also tell you about uses of critical section. After that, I will teach you about conditional critical section or conditional critical region. And after teaching all the above points, I will try to accumulate the important facts in summary section. After that, at the end of the video, I will certainly provide you some good references regarding books, URL and YouTube videos. So let us start with the first topic, that is what do you mean by critical section. So when more than one process access the same code segment, that segment is known as critical section. Very important thing. That means when the two processes are cooperative process, at that time they may share the same resource. So shareable resource may be accessed at the same time. At that time, the piece of region which is shared between two processes at the same time is known as critical section. Critical section contains mainly shared variables or resources which are needed to synchronize to the maintain consistency of the data variables. As I have already told you, that means that is critical section is basically it contains your shared variable or resources itself when it is needed to synchronize to maintain the consistency of the data variable. That means when the two processes is going to be share the same region, the state must be consistent. That means it should not go in the inconsistent state. In the simple terms, critical section is the group of instruction or statement of the region of code. It is needed to execute automatically, such as accessing a resource. So what is a critical section? Critical section is a accessing a resource which is normally a shared resource. While talking about concurrent programming, if one thread tries to change the value of shared data at the same time as another, right? Thread tries to read the value, the result is unpredictable. Okay, so the access of the shared variable, what are the shared variable? It may be your shared memory, shared file or shared port, which is to be synchronized. That means whatever the resource is shareable, that must have to be synchronized. Few programming languages have built-in support synchronization, right? It is critical to understand the importance of the race condition while writing the kernel mode programming. So this is not so important. So let's see about the critical section. That means this is process 1, this is process 2. Process 1 is using some section, some resources. Process 2 is also using some resources. But process 1 and process 2 is somehow sharing the same resource. So this is known as your critical section in depth. Okay, fine. So understanding about critical section can be understood with this diagram very clearly. Here, this is process A, this is process B. This is the time with respect to these two processes are using critical section at the different time. So suppose at T1, at point T1, process A enters into the critical section and at that time B will be blocked, right? Okay, fine. A is leaving critical section at time T3. So until then the process B will be blocked, right? Meanwhile, B attempts to enter the critical section at time 2, but it will be not given. Why? Because it is already associated with process A. So after leaving the critical section by A, next process B will be allotted to it, right? Okay. So how critical sections are implemented? Let's have a quick review. So here I have taken it in brief. A critical section about implementation of critical section. So critical section is usually terminates in finite time, and a thread task or a process will have to wait for a fixed time to enter its bounded waiting, right? Okay. What does it mean? That means a critical section has to be finished with a definite time. Providing a critical section to a process is definite, and for other threads or task or process, it has to be fixed time allotted for wait, that how many times a process has went into the waiting state. In order to ensure the exclusive use of mutual exclusion, critical section, some synchronization mechanism is required at the entry and exit of the program. So in order to ensure the process of synchronization, we must have to have the entry and exit of any program. Critical section is basically a piece of program. It is a program, it is a segment code, or it is a piece of program which requires the mutual exclusion to access. Mutual exclusion is also known as mutex. One thread blocks a critical section by using locking technique. So how the critical section will be locked for the second process? It is being done by the locking technique. When it is needed to access the shared resources and other threads, they have to wait in terms of their enter into the critical section. That means जब अगर एक प्रोसेस ऑलरेडी क्रिटिकल सेक्शन को अगर एक्वायर किया हुआ है तो उस समय दूसरे प्रोसेस या दूसरे थ्रेड्स उस चीज के लिए थोड़ा सा वेट करेंगे. This prevents the conflict when two or more threads are sharing the same memory space. ये इसको हम इसलिए करेंगे because basically mainly it will stop the conflict between the process when they are using the same workspace or address space of the memory. The simplest method to prevent any change of process control inside critical section is using the semaphore. So how we will use the accessing of the process, other process to have critical section? It is being done with the help of your semaphore, right? While talking about processor system, this can be done by disabling the interrupts to enter into the critical section. दूसरे प्रोसेस को हम लोग डिसेबल कर देते हैं ताकि वो क्रिटिकल सेक्शन में ना जा पाए. and it will be done with the help of your semaphore only. Avoiding the system call that can be called the context switching while inside the section. So we will also stop the system call, because अगर system call अगर होगा तो context switching होगा, और context switching होगा तो जो process already critical section में execute हो रहा है उसको वहां से छोड़ देना पड़ेगा. That is why we used to disable the interrupt as well as avoid the system call. Any thread of execution which enters the critical section anywhere in the system will, with this implementation, prevent the other thread, including interrupt, from being granted processing time of the CPU. चाहे कोई भी प्रोसेस हो, चाहे कोई भी थ्रेड हो, अगर हम इस तरीके की पॉलिसीज अगर हम लोग इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, कौन सी पॉलिसीज? दैट मीन्स वी विल डिसेबल द इंटरप्ट. अगर इंटरप्ट को अगर हमने अगर डिसेबल कर दिया तो कोई हायर प्रायोरिटी जॉब भी नहीं आकर के उस क्रिटिकल सेक्शन को तब नहीं ले सकता जबकि ऑलरेडी वो एंगेज हो किसी और प्रोसेस से. पहली चीज. दूसरी चीज कि अगर हमने अगर सिस्टम कॉल को भी अवॉइड किया तो इस तरीके की चीजों से हम सारे के सारे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट से बच सकते हैं, चाहे हमारे पास 2 थ्रेड हो या 3 थ्रेड हो या ज्यादा प्रोसेस हो, कभी भी हमारा जो आईपीसी में जो है सिंक्रोनाइजेशन. Therefore, from entering the critical section or indeed any code whatsoever until the original thread leaves its critical section. So whenever original thread does not leave the critical section, no other thread will be go in the critical section. Okay, so let's talk about some more important features. This is known as also brute force approach, which can be improved by using semaphores. That means by using the semaphore, this can be implementation of the critical section can be improved. In order to enter the critical section, a thread must obtain the semaphore. Without obtaining a semaphore, no thread will enter into the critical section. Once other thread will are prevented from the entering the critical section at the same time as the original thread. That means other thread will not enter the critical section. Semaphore locking also has a time limit to prevent the deadlock condition. Very, very important. That means in order to prevent the deadlock, semaphore locking facility has that time limit. When it will exceed the time limit, then semaphore also not capable to prevent the deadlock. So this is a very good example. Here we are having 2 tasks, that is T1 and T2, and these 2 tasks are associated with L1. L1 is your lock 1 and CS1 is critical section 1. Similarly, this is lock 2 and CS2. This is log 3 and CS3. So what you are getting from this diagram, at the time of locking 1 the CS1, T2 has to wait for T1, right? And when it releases, at that time only it will used by the T2. Otherwise, whenever T1 is using the critical section, at that time T2 cannot be used. Simultaneously, when T2 is using the critical section, at that time you can easily see that it will be not used by T1. Okay. So what are the use of critical section? First, the critical section is used to prevent the thread and progress migration between the processes and preemption of the process. So basically, critical section, the uses of critical section is to avoid the preemption and migration between the process unnecessarily. It also disable the interrupts and the signals, right? So critical section is allowing nesting. Nesting means what? Nesting basically allows the multiple critical section to be entered and it exists the little cost. That is really very important regarding critical section. So if a scheduler interrupts the current process or thread is in a critical section, right? Okay. The scheduler will either allow the currently executing process or thread to run to completion of the critical section. It will also schedule the process or thread from another complete quantum. What do you mean by quantum? Quantum is the time given, the specific time given for the particular process. Next one is your scheduler will not migrate the process or a thread to one another process, and it will not schedule another process. So migration of the process is prohibited in the critical section, right? If an interrupt occurs in the critical section, the interrupt information is recorded in the future process. अगर इंटरप्ट हो भी जाता है इन केस, तो इंटरप्ट को वहां पे उसके इंफॉर्मेशन को हम रीस्टोर कर लेंगे या रिकॉर्ड कर लेंगे फर्दर उसका यूज के लिए. इंटरप्ट होने का मतलब ये कभी नहीं है कि प्रोसेस को क्रिटिकल सेक्शन से वॉलंटरी बाहर निकालेगा. देयर इज नो टाइप ऑफ प्रिम्पशन. इट शुड बी नो प्रिम्पशन. प्रिम्पशन इज नॉट अलाउड. Once the critical section is exit, and in other cases, the schedule quantum is completed, right? The pending interrupt will be executed. Very important. देखिए यहाँ पे क्या कहता है कि अगर क्रिटिकल सेक्शन से कोई चीज अगर बाहर आ गई, यानी क्रिटिकल सेक्शन आपका फ्री है और आपका शेड्यूल टाइम भी खत्म हो गया है, राइट? तो उस केस में क्या होगा, तब जितने भी पेंडिंग इंटरप्ट्स हैं उनको हम लोग एनकरेज कर सकते हैं. The concept of scheduling quantum applies to round robin. Very important. Whenever we are talking about schedule quantum, so how it will be applied? It will be applied by RR, that is round robin scheduling algorithm. Here are some more uses. So since the critical section may execute only one of the processor on which they are entered, synchronization only required within the executing processor. It is very important regarding critical section, use of critical section. This allows the critical section to enter and exit at most zero cost. So entering the critical section or exit from the critical section, this generally does not make any cost. So zero cost will be there. Most of the processor provides the required amount of synchronization by simple acting of interrupting and current execution state. So how we are achieving the required amount of synchronization? By acting of the interrupting the current execution state. Basically, this allows the critical section in most of the cases, which are nothing more than that the processor count in the critical section which is entered. Critical section should not be used as long as lasting locking primitives, right? This is a very important point I have discussed to you. Okay, so let's talk about conditional critical section or region. First is your race condition. Race condition is a situation which may occur in the critical section, as we all know. This happens when the result of the multi-thread execution in the critical section differ according to the in order of the they will execute. So what is the race condition? Race condition is nothing but there is a fight between two processes to acquire the critical section of a shared resources. Race condition in the critical section can be avoided if the critical section is treated as atomic instruction. How can we remove race condition? Race condition will be removed if our critical section will be behave atomically. Thread synchronization using the locks or atomic variable which can prevent the race conditions. Very, very important. So how by using the thread synchronization we can prevent the race condition, and for this we can use locks or atomic variables. Okay, let's talk about semaphore. What is semaphore? It is a signaling mechanism and a thread which is writing a semaphore can be signaled by another thread. So basically semaphore, when we are talking about semaphore is of two types. One is it is having two states. First state is your signal and next state is your wait state. So by using these two things, by using these two signals, we oftenly make synchronization between concurrent process. This is the different than mutex, as mutex can be signaled only by one thread that can be called the wait function. So semaphore is different than mutex. How? That is, the mutex can signal only one thread, but semaphore can handle more than one thread for signaling. A semaphore uses two atomic operations. As I have already told you, first operation is your wait and second operation is your signal. Right? Okay. So the wait operation decrements the value of the argument s if it is positive. If s is negative or 0, then no operation will be performed or no operation is performed. So let's talk about the summary that we have already discussed so far in this video. First, when more than one process access the same code, that is known as your critical section. Second one is your critical section contains shared variable or resources which is needed to synchronize to maintain the consistency of the data variable. That is very important. That is why we are using the critical section, because whenever we are using the same piece of reason with two variables or two process, then it must have to have the data consistent, right? In the simple terms, critical section is the group of instruction or statement or the region of code. Critical section is a piece of program. See, these are different types of definition that is being given to the critical section, right? Sometimes it is known as region, sometimes it is known as instruction, sometimes it is known as statement, sometimes it is known as code segment, and sometimes it is also known as your program, right? In case of mutex, the thread block, mutex means what? Mutual exclusion. One thread blocks the critical section by using the locking technique. So critical section can be locked for the or critical section can be avoided for the other process or other thread by locking technique. When it needs to access the shared resource, other thread have to be wait until the first one will be released the critical section. So these are good references of your critical section. You may visit all these sites to excel your knowledge. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day.